vital role in supporting U.S. troops during wartime.
It was made up exclusively of women. Their job was to boost morale and bring a feeling of home to the men fighting so far away. WGN's Jackie Bange is here now with more on this.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Well, the program was officially called Supplemental Recreational Activities Overseas. Quite a mouthful. The soldiers knew them by their nickname, the Donut Dollies. The Dollies first came to Europe in World War II. Young college graduates volunteered to literally drive to the edges of the battlefields to make donuts and coffee for the war-weary soldiers. Years later, the Dollies followed troops to Korea.
I'm Lucy Davidson, and I heard about the program when I was still in school, but wanted to do ice skating first.
Then in 1960, the 25-year-old professional ice skater from Chicago gave up her blades for fatigues and a clubmobile.
We'd get the truck loaded and we'd take off, and we might have a 9 o'clock, a 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock stop.
From base rec centers to remote mountain lookouts, the Dollies would visit as many troops as they could throughout the day.
And we're actually doing a program in the mess hall the way we did it.
And for that brief hour, they'd take the warriors away from the war through conversation and games.
Well, a lot of things were, of course, from taking TV shows. I mean, we took tic-tac-toe and all of those. Quizzes, stunts, gimmicks, puzzles, brain teasers, the whole rigmarole. And we always had something we could pull out of the hat if we needed something.
In Vietnam, 627 Dollies answered the call, among them 23-year-old Judy Wright of Hyde Park. For her, the decision to join was deeply personal.
I looked at these young men and I saw my brother.
Twin brother Joe had just been drafted.
They were so young, and even the ones that were older, the pilots, even they were only 24.
You can see it in Judy's photos. The Dollies changed with the times. Powder blue dresses replaced fatigues. No more clubmobiles. The girls flew to their destinations in Huey helicopters.
We could go out in the daytime and take our games and visit with them and fly on to the next unit. It's very hot, but you got accustomed to it. It was very dusty. Any place the Army went, there's going to be a lot of red dust, a lot of red dirt, so it was either very dusty or very muddy.
And what about the veterans? We tracked some down, and of all places, a donut shop. Every Tuesday, some 30 Vietnam vets gather at the Dunkin' Donuts on Dempster and Harlem in Niles.
You saw an American woman, which you hadn't seen, but just to take your mind off of what you've been doing every day.
Not only did Jerry Fleck meet Dollies, he reconnected with one decades later at a reunion.
And everybody said, hey, the donut dollars are coming. And I'm saying, what the hell's a donut dolly?
But for Bill Christensen, all it took was one visit to have an impact.
It built up the morale, even if it was for, that day anyway. But kind of reminded you of home.
Worn for a year, and it looks just fine, doesn't it?
Judy still has that powder blue dress. It's a reminder of a life-changing year at war. 50 years later.
50 years later.
Emotional still when you talk about it?
Oh, yeah. It was a terrible war. A lot of injuries, a lot of death. And they were all very young.
You didn't worry about your safety at all?
Well, it sounds strange to say now, but no, we didn't. It was probably the best 18 months I ever spent in a job because of its uniqueness.
2 different women, 2 different wars, 1 mission: to support the troops.
It's volunteerism with the Red Cross. It's service to the military. The Red Cross was born on the battlefield with Claire Barton, and service to the military and their families is core to our mission.
In case somebody hasn't said thanks a lot. Well, they were appreciated, and they made our days a little bit better.
You know, they did risk their lives. 3 Dollies died while in Vietnam. Lucy continued her work with the Red Cross for decades. Judy married her boyfriend, who also served in Vietnam as an Air Force pilot. Many thanks to Arrowhead Films, which allowed us to use some of the video from its documentary on the Dollies called A Touch of Home. More information, you can go to our website, WGN. TV.com.
Oh, the footage and those pictures are just amazing.
Those
Spectacular
dollies
to see.
were amazing, yes.
I know. And they kept everything.
I know. And they've kept in touch, too. It's great to see that bond still, too.
They have reunions.
Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah.
Great story, Jackie.
Still